Today we're in Kishnau, the capital city of Moldova, but unfortunately for me it's a Monday, and Monday is their day of rest here instead of Sunday. I did not know that at all, so I arrived last night thinking today we'll do loads of stuff, but obviously that's not the case because a lot of things are closed. So about 15 minutes walk away from my hostel there's a massive park. I've got some snacks. We're gonna go and have a little picnic, a little wander around the park, because from the looks of it on the map it's absolutely huge. Apparently it's really good. It's got a lake in the middle that you can swim in and get boats and stuff, so it should be quite interesting. We've arrived at this park and oh my god, you're not going to believe what this looks like. Look at this. It's called the Valley of the Mills Park, which makes sense because it looks like it's been built in a valley, and then you've got this huge stairway leading down to the lake. Oh my god, this is so much bigger than I expected it to be. Like, oh, look how many steps there are. Gonna have to go down all of these steps during a heat wave as well. It's a heat wave here in Europe. It's currently 34 degrees with the temperature set to rise to 36 in a couple of hours. I'm sweating, absolutely sweating, especially with a backpack on as well. But this park has stunned me because I didn't expect it to be like this. But Moldova is full of green spaces. This is what the stairs look like from down below. Apparently there's like 218 steps in total. They have like a few cafes and shops here in the park as well. I'm gonna go grab a nice coffee and then we're gonna go and find somewhere nice to sit by the lake. We found a nice spot with some tree coverage right in front of the lake. Look how big this lake is, it's huge. You've got all the apartment blocks in the background. Right over there you've actually got a beach as well. I think it's a man-made beach. This lake is man-made, which is kind of crazy. Right, let me show you what I've got for my picnic. I've got a baguette. I've got some sweet chili nachos. I've got some nuts, some cherries, some caramelized onion hummus for the bread, and an already opened pack of Oreos, plus my iced coffee. That's good, iced coffee as well, to be fair. Right, we're going to attempt to walk all the way around this lake. We're going to go over to that side and see what the beach is like, see if it's any good, because it is a fake beach. I assume it will be though. There sounds like there's loads of people over there having fun. So the only downside to this path going around the lake is that there's like no tree cover at all. There's no shade. Like, it's just sun the entire way. There are paths up in the trees. Actually, we'll go into it. Obviously going into the trees, walking around is going to take a lot longer because it's a bigger circle, but we are protected from the sun. I assume this river is one of the rivers that they directed to feed this lake so that it stays full all the time, because like I said, it was a man-made lake, so a river would have had to be diverted to top it up. This park has quite a few stray dogs, and I just spotted one here. Look at him. He's sitting in like a little stream that leads to the lake to keep cool. Are you enjoying that water? Are you staying cool? He's got a blue like tag in his ear. I assume they kind of like give all the stray dogs here vaccinations and neuter them and stuff, and just kind of take care of them, or at least give them like basic care. Also, this park is not like your standard city park. It's more like a nature park. It's more natural and wild. Like, all the grass and bushes are overgrown. They have a few paths and trails that cut through the woods, and the area by the lake is a bit more tidy. But apart from that, it basically is just like I assume the original forest that was here in the valley, with a lake added to it, and then obviously like cafes and fountains and things for people to do. Looks like you can rent some kayaks and paddleboards and go out into the water. There's quite a few out there now, to be fair. Doesn't look like the cleanest water, to be honest, and I did read on Google that there is a risk of like a bacterial like skin infection if you go in, but it's like a small risk, I imagine. I should have my picnic over on this side by the beach because it's much better. The grass is actually like cut, so I wouldn't have to put a towel down. And look at the view of the forest over there. It's much better than the view I had, and the sun's behind me as well. At the beach as well is alright. It doesn't look too bad. There's a lot more going on over on this side. There's volleyball behind me. I think there's like a basketball court or football court, I'm not too sure. And there's just people everywhere. This side is definitely much better than that side. Yeah, the water definitely isn't safe to swim in. On the beach there's actually signs to say the water doesn't like meet health and safety requirements to actually be safe to swim in, so advises against swimming, but all the locals seem to ignore it. There was loads of people in there, and they do have showers, to be fair, to like clean off. Probably mitigates the danger a little bit of skin infections, but if you swallow that water you are probably going to be ill for a couple of days. We're walking back around the lake now, and do you see that right there? Well, that's got quite an interesting story. We're gonna go and walk around and try and find it on that side and explain a little bit more about it. So behind me we have the tower I was showing you before. It's called the parachute station, but it has nothing to do with parachuting whatsoever. It's the old cable cart stop that used to run from like the top of the valley down to the bottom of Kishnau. And it was built during the Soviet Union. It took like 9 years to build, and they brought in Georgian engineers because Georgia is full of cable carts. But it was like full of like delays and problems. That's why it took 9 years. And it was only open for 6 years. Someone fell from one of the carts and died, and so it was closed down, and now they no longer have a cable cart system. And as you can see, it's been walled off to stop people climbing up to the top. And the final thing I brought you to see in this park is a huge open air amphitheatre. It's absolutely massive. I think I seen that it holds like 5,000 people. So you can just tell that this park is like the place to be during the summer, because they probably have events on here most weekends. There's people playing in the water during the hot days. It's just quite a cool park. Anyway, I'm going to head back to the hostel for the rest of the night, get a shower and go to bed, because tomorrow we're going to take a little day trip about an hour outside of Kishnau. So I'll see you in the morning. This morning we're going to a place called Old Orhei. It's meant to be a stunning valley. It also has like a cave that you can go into. So we have to go to the central bus station to catch a minibus. So we're at the central station now, and I have to find the bus going to Butacheni, because that's the bus that stops nearest to Old Orhei. And it costs maybe about £2.50. It's really cheap to take these minibuses, and they go pretty much all over Moldova. I found my bus to Butacheni, but it doesn't leave for another 5 minutes, and it's far too hot to just sit on there for 5 minutes waiting for the driver, because it's like 34 degrees and absolutely sweating. We've arrived at Butacheni, which is like the closest village to the cave monastery. It's like a 10-minute walk away, which isn't too bad. The next closest village is Trebucheni, but that's like an hour and a half walk away. It's quite far. And these buses that you have to get are so sweaty, by the way. Like, the aircon isn't great, the windows don't really open. Honestly, being stuck on that for like an hour is horrendous. Anyway, we've got this 10-minute walk, and then later on we've got a decision to make. The next bus home is at 3 o'clock, but it's from Trebucheni, so I'm gonna have to walk the hour and a half. It's now 12 o'clock. Or it's at 4:30 from Brunacheni. I can't remember the name. So do I wait the extra hour and a half, or do I walk the hour and a half? Because apparently you only need about an hour or two here, so I'm gonna have time spare, and I don't know what to do. Absolute nightmare. I mean, no video I'll have, but also no shorts I'll have. Guess what I'm wearing? I'm wearing shorts. The worst thing about it is I actually read a couple of days ago that you have to wear pants to go in here, and I completely forgot this morning. I was meant to bring these shorts into pants. I was meant to bring the pants to go with it. Completely forgot. I don't know what we're gonna do. We've got like 4.5 hours here. To be fair, the views are good, so at least I've got that to look at. pretty sure though that like pretty much everyone that was on my bus had shorts on, and I assumed that they're all coming to this because they all got off where I got off. We'll find out. Like, I'm waiting. I was ahead of them. I'm gonna wait until they get up here. There's about 5 of them, I think, and I'm pretty certain they're all in shorts. If they go in, I'm gonna go in too, but I'm gonna wait to see what they do first. Right, we've come to the top of the hill. I'm taking my hat off before I lose it because I've been in this situation before, and the view of the river below is sick. Let me show you. Look at that, down into the valley. That looks quite cool. And you've got the monastery there, which I hope I can go in shorts, but I doubt it. I can't even go into the cave monastery with shorts on. We've got views of all the farmlands and then more of the valley here. Quite cool. I think they went in shorts because I've just come down off the hill and they're nowhere to be seen. They aren't walking up there, so I assume they've gone in. There's 2 more people coming up the hill now, 3 more actually. I think they're all in shorts, so we'll see what they do. There's a small problem. It says no shorts.
No shorts?
No shorts.
Oh.
Right, I've come inside because the 2 guys ahead of me were in here, and these guys behind me all said they were going to go in shorts. So we're all breaking the rules, I guess. I feel bad about it. There's not actually that much to see. It's just a viewing platform basically for the valley. It does look quite cool. Inside there is a bit of a museum. Let's go. There's nothing really.
Yeah, there's literally nothing here.
Yeah, I reckon it's just where like they slept, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, it's like a religious picture.
Maybe they're like bedrooms for the monks.
But it's like wet here.
It's wet.
This place is really humid, so. Wait.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I feel like I'm in a horror movie.
I also don't think they have a problem with videos either because
Yeah.
he didn't say anything.
Yeah. I mean, we asked.
There's a monk inside like the cave monastery, and he didn't seem to have any issue with the shorts or the video camera. He had an issue with the hat, which is fair enough. I bought some magnets because I felt bad going in shorts, and he told us that the little like basement area was where they slept. They all had a room each, and it'd be like filled with straw. The main church that you can see on top of the valley hill was built in like 1905. The cave system was built by monks between the 13th and 14th centuries, and during the USSR this and the cave system were turned into like storage facilities for the farmlands around. And the church bell, which I assume this is the old church bell, was removed, and it wasn't until I think the late 1960s when this area was turned into like a nature reserve, like a protected area. And I don't think it was until later, after the USSR, that monks came back and were allowed to practice their faith. Apparently there's another cave monastery here somewhere in the hills. We're trying to find it. There's some steps down here. But I'm with Carl, by the way, and you might get us killed here. Because this looks sketchy. I don't know if these are steps or if these are like just the edges of the hill, the cliff. So are we gonna attempt to climb down here? I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but I don't see any caves. Maybe, I mean, this goes lower over here. We might get a better view. I feel like this definitely doesn't lead us to any caves. Carl's a doctor, by the way, so if one of us falls, well, if it's me, at least I have a doctor. If it's him, he's a bit fucked. So we've decided to take the walk to Trubisheni, which is like an hour and a half from the monastery. We literally was at the monastery for like half an hour. Didn't take that long to see everything. It was quite small, and we've been walking for like half an hour, so we've got like an hour left, and it's absolutely sweating. But along the way there's a few things to see. Got a viewpoint of the caves in the monastery, I think further up ahead, and then there's like an old fort as well, which might be quite interesting. We found a little viewpoint of the caves that we were in before, but the whole like cliff has caves. You can see caves there. There's caves underneath the monastery. I'll try and get a better view. There's caves there. You can only go in them ones though. It's literally a tiny little cave, but the whole cliff seems to have like a cave system. We're at the fort now. There's nothing left of it. It's just old walls that you can walk along, and also get a view of Trubisheni, the other village close to the monastery. But people living here date back to like 30,000 years, so prehistoric people were here for thousands of years. And then apparently the Romans were here. Also the Ottoman Empire owned Moldova at one point before the Russian Empire. So this part of Moldova has like a vast history of being inhabited by people. We were quite lucky, we got a hitchhike back to like the town, so we're at the bus stop now and we've got plenty of time to kill. But the guy was quite sad, but he didn't want me to film, which was quite a shame, because he was a nice guy, really. But now we've got 35 minutes to wait until the bus to Kishnau. We're back in Kishnau now. It was quite a good day at Old Orhei. You don't need a lot of time there. You only need maybe like an hour to kind of see everything, and then you're done. So you can go to the town and get the bus back. But the bus timetables are a little bit terrible, so we were waiting a fair bit, and we had like an hour and a half walk to go and get the bus. But right now I'm sweating, so I need to go back to the hostel because we've been out in this heat for like 7 hours. Today's our final day here in Kishnau. I've only got a couple of hours until I have to leave, so with the around 3 hours that I have, we're gonna just try and squeeze in as much as possible in and around the city. So the first place we've come to is Cathedral Park, which is home to the triumphant arch, which was built in the 1840s to commemorate Russia's victory over the Ottomans. It is also across from the government building of Moldova, that huge building in the background. But obviously, as the name suggests, Cathedral Park, it's named after the cathedral that sits in the park. This was built in the 1830s, just before the triumphant arch. The cathedral's actually split into two parts. You've got the bell tower behind me, and then you've got the main cathedral here, which we're going to go into now. The official name is the Nativity Cathedral, and it was built by the Russian Empire in a neoclassical design, which I think looks great. But during the USSR, it was turned into an exhibition centre before returning to religious purposes when the USSR collapsed. Now that we've finished in Cathedral Park, we're going to go and get some brunch from a cafe. One of the great things about Kishnau is that it is full of parks and green spaces. I wouldn't say there's a whole bunch of things to do here, but if you wanted to just come to like a city for a nice little getaway break, just to relax, then this isn't such a bad place. There's loads of areas you can go and just chill. So I've come to a cafe called Feeling Coffee. I've got myself a salted caramel iced latte with oat milk, and then a dark chocolate bounty cake. This hopefully is really good because I love bounties and I haven't obviously been able to eat bounty in years. I'm gonna try it. Oh, it's cold. Oh, that's what it looks like on the inside. That's really nice. I did drop a little bit then as it broke off. That's really good. The final thing that we're going to be doing here in Kishnau is going to the top of that tower there, because if there's one thing I love doing when I visit new places, it's going to a viewpoint to get a view of the entire surroundings of where I'm at. So this is the old Kishnau water tower. It's no longer a water tower, it's a museum, and it also has a viewing platform on the top. It costs about £1.50 for a ticket to come in for adults, but with the camera it cost me about £8. So if you bring like a camera, it's gonna cost you a lot more to get in. Still not too bad, I guess. The museum has exhibits from the 4th century to the modern era, but unfortunately there are no English translations for any of the displays. This is what we came for. This is what we paid the £8 for, to look at views like this. You can see, I mean, you can see quite how green Kishnau is, and then you can see all like this Soviet apartment blocks, which look really quite cool, to be fair. Then if you come around to the other side, because this is a 360-degree viewing platform, you can see like the much smaller buildings over here, and then you can see the massive lake in the Valley of the Mills Park. This viewing point was worth the £8, to be honest with you, but if you're not bringing like a full-on camera, you've just got your phone or something, it's going to cost you like £1.50. Well worth coming up here. Museum, you can take it all either, but this is sick, and it's nice and cool up here as well. There's a lovely breeze, it's shaded, so this is great. So I've come back to the Valley of the Mills Park, bringing this video full circle back to where it began. This time I'm at the Cascade Stairs right below the rotunda, and this is where we're gonna end the video. I hope you've enjoyed exploring Kishnau and the surrounding area of Kishnau with me. Make sure you like the video, comment below what was your favourite part of the video, subscribe if you're not already, and as always, keep exploring.